Hey guys, Fox here, gonna bring you a 1 versus 1, my first cast in quite a while. It's gonna be against a British player up here in the north playing as Friya, and down here in the south position is going to be HQstorm playing as our Vermont player. I apologize for not bringing out casts for a while. I just got done moving from the States to the UK, got my desktop and everything, so now I can start recording once again. And it looks like, I don't know the background on these two players. I know I usually give a background on both of them, but it's been so long. I can kind of recognize Friya, and they're like typing in Korean stuff. I don't think they're Korean. I don't know if they're just messing around or not, but if they are, that's cool. I think it's Korean. I don't know, correct me if you know, go ahead and tell me. And okay, so Friya does sound very familiar, and if I've casted a game of his, that means he's pretty high up there, because that's all I really cast. I don't really cast lower players. I just don't find them that entertaining. But in the south position is HQstorm, and HQ sounds very familiar. I don't know about Storm, but I know that is a pretty well-known clan out there. I've seen their clan quite a bit, especially when I first played company shows. I know I went up against quite a few of them, but I'm not entirely sure. If you do know, go ahead and let me know. Send me a PM or just comment down on the YouTube video, and let me know my audio levels. I think I got them right, but it's been a while. I kind of adjusted them, tested them out, sounded right to me. But if there's something too loud, let me know. So right now we have a Vermont player. Looks like he's gonna go pile spam. What a surprise, against our British player, which will probably get a Bren in answer to that. So we got 5 Pioneers right now. Obviously the Pioneers are going to be heavy capping. You're not going to be able to take on your enemy right away, but the whole idea of it is to just cap as much as you can, go straight into probably Grenadiers, tier 2 Grenadiers. Once you get your Grenadiers, and then you can start actually fighting. So pretty much just run around, run your opponent around the place, cap as much as you can, get those Grenadiers, quickly reinforce, and then if you really want, you can put flamethrowers on your Pioneers, which are great against infantry, great against everything. And you may lose a Pioneer squad here. You're going to zoom in, and he does lose a Pioneer squad. I thought he would retreat it earlier, so I didn't zoom in. Apologize for that if you really wanted to see that, but pretty sure there's more to come. British player, pretty standard here. He's going to get his munitions point. Deciding to get the munitions point near the middle of the map, and then that will give him plus 18, of course, and then your opponent can't cap that point. You need to be very careful though. If Vermont player does get MGs in these buildings, you're gonna be pretty well stuck in there, and you could lose the game. It could cost you the game. It's kind of a dangerous spot unless you can use that building to your advantage. You know, we'll see how it goes throughout the game. And right now, the British player, check the capping, since the fighting is kind of weak right now, you can see the British player is actually trying to cap this point right here, and this one as well, the one he just capped, and that will actually cut the Vermont player off, so that's actually a really good response to this pile spam. If you can't beat their capping, all you really need to do is like cap 1, 2, 3
One of our sectors has been cut
points really, and that pretty much cuts him off from the entire left-hand, right-hand side of the map, and you only have these resources right here. You can see he's already managed to do it on the left-hand side, and the right-hand side, if he can take this one right here, which you can see he's trying to fight over it right now. The Pioneer squad's here, the officers right here, and the infantry section is coming up there to support it, and you'll probably be able to decap that. There's not much Vermont player can do to fight that, especially now there's a Bren out, which is great against Pioneer squads, and you can see the Vermont players trying to recap these points. He needs those supplies really bad to continue into this game, as our a Vermont player is floating around 700 manpower. Hopefully he spends that soon. I'm not sure what phase he's in. He might be in skirmish phase right now, and hopefully see a Craig Barracks come out. He may lose another Pioneer squad if he doesn't retreat it. I'm pretty sure he will retreat it in time. He does try to cap this point to try and cut off the British player, but really his main base is right here, so it doesn't matter too much. This is a small strategic point loss, but not a big deal. He's going to retreat that Pioneer squad. He needs to be careful. He might get picked off here by this infantry section. No, he's just going to continue to cap this munition point, and I'm actually going to adjust the audio volume real quick. The yelling from the units is so interrupting me when I'm casting, so hopefully that's better, and hopefully that doesn't affect you guys too much. I think it should be good to go though. So really it looks like the British player succeeded in pushing his opponent off the map. Really, he's capped this entire middle point. The Vermont player is completely cut off. He only has one Pioneer squad over here, and the Brand is now going into the base. Pioneers aren't going to do too much against the Brand unless he does not micro very well into this bunker. It does micro out of the bunker's range. He's going to harass a little bit, and see the Pioneers shooting at it. Doesn't do too much damage. He's going to get out of there though. He does realize something is building in this, and he probably thinks it's a Grenadier, but it's not. It's actually a motor, so he could stay in there if he really wanted to, and could have possibly done more damage. Looks like the last Pioneer squad that was on the field did manage to decap the victory point, but VPs are 500, 479, so it's not that big of a deal, and really, now he has nothing on the field. Now he's just pushing out, but they're two very, very weak Pioneer squads, and with the support of a mortar squad, not going to do too much. You need a little more firepower up front to support that mortar squad. It is going to be behind the green cover, so he does retreat. He should be able to save it, especially with the bunker right behind it, so it is the best spot you can put it in right now when you are pushed up against the wall. Brandon's going to harass that Pioneer squad a little bit. Not sure what this Pioneer is shooting at. Probably expecting some units to come over here. That is a good game sense, but unfortunately for him, no units is going. Probably this is where the infantry section actually went. Going to attack that OP, that plus 18 munitions point with the rifle grenades, which do a great damage against buildings and infantry in general. Actually getting a second mortar squad on the field. Needs to be careful though, can do quite a bit of damage. It's not moving. See how that mortar does. Barely misses it. Maybe the second or third hit, if he doesn't continue to move it, hopefully moves it right here, because they're slowly creeping up on him. Actually going towards the where the field is, and that's why he just wanted to retreat. So he's going to retreat, and looks like we have a half track coming out, which will definitely help the Vermont player. It's going to help him flank around a little bit, be a little more mobile, and do some harassment. As long as you stick a Pioneer squad in there, you are good to go. It doesn't look anything yet. And no Grenadiers. I guess he just wanted the half track for now. Maybe that was a strategy. I don't know. Maybe it was my mistake. He could just get the half track out and then go in the Grenadiers. I'm not entirely sure. I've been out of it for a little bit. So now the half track going to move out. See what kind of damage he could do. Really, looks like the Brent is going to get out of here. The infantry section's over here and up here, so needs to be pretty careful. They can just run in there. Pioneer squad can cop him the half track and book it out of there though if they really need to. Does manage to recap this point, but now everything's to the British player, and the Vermont player can't do anything at the moment. He's very, I could say he's mobile, but he's not very strong, and he doesn't have that many units anymore. Because he has these two mortar squads, the half track, and the Pioneer squads. But the moment the infantry section shows up, he has to get out of there because he cannot fight it. I keep hearing these mortars going off. I'm not sure where they are hammering right now. This is just hammering this area because he wants to keep that point. Very smart move there. Really the only thing he can do with his mortars right now, because he does not know where any of his units are located. Gonna go up here in the north. Hopefully, I think he's grabbing the second officer. Does he have the second truck? And yes, he does. It's the second truck. Gonna build his engineer, which will allow him to repair that Brand, lay down mines, pretty much your basic engineer, Pioneer squad can do. He just gets it in later stages of the game, trying to get that munitions point once again. So far the game has been kind of slow. British pretty dominant and pretty smart on his capping right now. The Vermont player, I believe he's just gonna see what he has and see what he can do. He's gonna do just a slow, steady push with his mortars and half track and his Pioneers. May lay a few mines down yet, so he's gonna lay a mine down right here. And really that's all he can do. Don't get too greedy. Definitely can't lose any squads right now. Gonna build his third mortar squad. I'm not sure why that is, really. Let's see how effective they've been. 0 kills. 0 kills. Mortars haven't been so helpful, really helpful at all. Maybe they will eventually maybe know something. I don't. But so far, I don't think it's going to do anything. I really think he needs Grenadiers, some Pioneers with the flamethrower upgrade, but so far nothing. Once again, missing. And then over here in the north position, oh there you go, first kill from a mortar, and half track not shooting with an infantry section with the support of the mortars. Gonna recap that point right there and then start capping on these fuel and munitions. Trying to go for both sides right now. I don't think he can stretch out. Really, I would focus on just capping one side of the map, maybe this right hand side, stick an MG into this building and then start pinning back your opponent or something like that, because he does not have any mortars. The British player doesn't have any mortars, but even if he did, he could easily be countered by our Vermont player. So here we go. Our first big decent push does have some Pyats, which are great against the half track. The half track is over here and is booking out of here, and really Vermont has no answer to this push. Really just a bunch of motors. Ooh, and a mine going off. I'm not sure whose mine that was. Really, I didn't see a British player place a mine here, and he just got his engineer squad, so I wouldn't think so, but could have been the Vermont's own mine. I'm not entirely sure. It's going back up in the north. Ooh, and lots of pickings. Managed to take off one motor, getting the motor for himself. And the Vermont player is really pushed back. Not sure. One has 2 kills now. The other one has, can't check it because he's just retreating. Was getting picked off by these rifle grenades, which can shoot over any walls or hedgerows. You can see over here that's just about to happen. And there it goes, doing quite a bit of damage when they do land. And he really needs to get this out of here right now. Just have an AT gun for that brand. I'm not sure if it's for that brand or any. He senses any tanks, but I haven't seen any on the field. I don't even see that third truck on the field just yet. And almost losing motor squad right there. Let's check the TAC map. So the Vermont player is back into his base. He does finally have, so he did go the Blitz Doctrine, getting some Shreks. Probably will take out that brand carrier soon. It only has 3 kills, so good job on minimizing damages on that. Yeah, that's pretty much Stormtroopers, Motors, and Pioneers squad with this half track. Half track's doing pretty well. It doesn't have any kills yet, but it has managed to push back the brand a little bit, and you can reinforce from it. So no real hits on the Vermont player. He just can't really establish any capping right now. This is going pretty slow. Gonna check what the British has right now, and the British is moving. I'm just gonna get the little cupcake. The cupcake will be great. So get some mortars, just run in there, do your damage, and get out. And the only counter to that, so we do have the AT gun from our Vermont player, and the Stormtrooper. Brand does go down, by the way, so you can see that, and our Stormtrooper squad that has the Shreks. So the cupcake is gonna get extra vision. It's only 10 munitions. You always want to get it. Looks like a mortar did hit a mine and set it off. So far, I really can't get this game exciting. It sounds so boring, but so far not much has happened. So we gotta do that. So I'm gonna sneak over here into the right hand side. Cupcake gonna try and counter that. It should be fine as long as it keeps its range. Doesn't take too much damage. You always can repair it with these engineers. You could do the burst. There is a 15 munitions burst, and it sometimes can miss the shot. The Stormtroopers, oh no, retreating into the path of pretty much the entire meat of this army. Should be able to get out of here. May lose 1 or 2 guys, probably just 1 guy. Motors, if he is smart, he can start laying motors down here while they are moving in. Yes, he's going to do that. Let's see if our British player does run into it, and ooh, he does move into it. Surprisingly, he needs to get out of there right now. More damage could be done. Oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 kills. Very nice target firing right there. So the motors did manage to pay off. Do we have, like, Jesus, 2 officers here and the captain? Always need the captain to move up to the 3rd tier. And it looks like, which mortar was that? It was this mortar over here. Has 4 kills. Our British player is going to move out. Now, Vermont player is still kind of on the back heel. He is managed to get a split in the door, but so far doesn't have the army to compete against the British player, as there's just too much firepower. Get over aim. Oh, this is very, very juicy. Only getting 2 kills, but does manage to force 2 retreats. Now these 2 officers, actually a full retreat. That grenade well paid for itself. That does allow some free up some space, allows the Stormtrooper squad to get rid of this captain, start capping on the field point, and now here on the left hand side, the AT gun is going to shoot away that cupcake. So far he's doing a decent job. This army is still very, very scary, very, very strong. Triple veterancy from all these officers. And he also has a medic, so has a medic bunker which is about to pop an infantry section for maybe I believe 2 more guys, 3 more guys, and we already got a guy right here coming on the way. Stormtrooper squad is definitely gonna have to get out of there. Unfortunately, didn't have enough time to get that field point. Does have a 2nd squad on the field. It's gonna be a Grenadier squad. Gonna switch back to our Vermont player, HQstorm, and so far, yeah, that's all he has right now. 2 mortar squads, and he does have a 3rd mortar squad on the field, on the way, and it's really gonna come down to these mortars because that's what he invested so much into. If those mortars can land a really, really good hit like they did earlier, then he should be good to go. He does have the veterancy, I'm not sure what the bonus is for mortars. I'm not sure what the bonus is, period, actually. I just know they're really, really good. And, oh, we have the artillery. Hopefully we can get this mortar out of here. One hit will demolish it. Does have artillery coming down all over the place. Manages to take out the half-track, and this is a... Oh, my goodness. That is so nasty. He may take out this strike barracks. Hopefully he doesn't. For the sake of a Vermont player, he does not manage to take out any buildings. I believe he did take out one mortar squad. I'm going to check the tab real quick. Is building a pioneer squad, so you can quickly repair these. One more artillery strike like that, and he pretty much lost that building there. So he didn't really use any units. Honestly, for the Vermont player, I think that was for the best. If you're going to get an artillery strike, besides it hitting in the middle of nowhere, have it hit on your buildings, don't lose any units, have the British player retreat, and your army's on the field, free to cap. So I think that kind of benefited the Vermont player quite a bit if you can just start pushing to continue to do what he's been doing. Slow, steady pushes, don't get too greedy, don't lose units. You should be fine, and I don't think he did lose a mortar squad. It's over here, it has 10 kills, the other one over here is 0. And then our third mortar squad over here on the right hand side has 0. So good spread on his mortars so they can't be bombarded all at once, and you lose them. If he is going to bombard his mortar squads, then he really will only lose one. He needs to retreat these two here. They're kind of caught in the middle of nowhere. This one will especially get picked off very, very quick. Do we have any support coming in from the north? Really just an AT gun. We do have probably grenades going to go off here. I'm not sure why he retreated. I'm not sure what our British player is doing here. He was doing pretty well early game. He was, capping what he needs to do. But right now he's just blobbing, which isn't very popular in Company of Heroes, And then just doing a full retreat like that, I'm not sure what that plan was. Maybe he thought a whole bunch of grenades were going to come off from our Vermont player, the bundled grenade, but it did not happen, and it looks like what he did spend his CPs was a stub, which is even better than bundled grenades because they do insane amounts of damage to blobs, and that's what he definitely needs. The only counter our British player has are Pyats. This is this giant blob of disgust. And I'm sorry, I don't like blobs either. Grenades going off. Really, that's what you need: blobs and grenades and stuff. And you should be able to take care of this nasty blob at the same time, start capping around the point, because if the British player is just going to blob, he's not going to bother capping anywhere, and you can especially pick off these officers if you really, really want. So, still very, very good positioning there, going to stay in the distance. He is going to use the run-up ability to run in here, and I don't know the purpose of this. Maybe just... Okay, he can pick off some of these mortars if he wants to. Actually, he's going to do a lot of damage. He does have the brand upgrade on one of them. Has the officers in here, and then the rifle grenades as well. And maybe he's going to throw some artillery. Grenades going off. The mortars really have nowhere to go. Losing one mortar. Going to try to fire them within the base. The bunker, though, he isn't within range. The bunker is going to suppress the CO2 section. He has to get out of here, and that really didn't do much damage from running in there. Kind of sloppy play by our British player, but we do have the Cromwell now in here. However, there is a full health Shrek squad in here, which should shoo away that Cromwell after it has done the damage. Rear armor hit. Maybe about 2 or 3 more hits. It's going to be in trouble. This stuff can do quite a bit of damage. However, the stuff is in big trouble as well. Only has a little bit of health. The speed up ability used on it. Oh no, picks it off, hitting in the rear. But the Cromwell does go down as well, so it didn't go down without a cost. However, I think the British player does come out on top of that because the Vermont player needed that stub more than the British player needed the Cromwell. Let's switch over to our British player to see what he has. Right now, just a big giant blob at his base of infantry, all getting healed up with that medic bunker. How many infantry sections do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 infantry sections and 2 engineering squads with Pyatt. So this is a death ball. Infantry death ball slash kind of vehicle death ball. The Pyatt do great damage, especially with these officers here supporting infantry. He does have another officer over on the left hand side capping, as well as the cupcake to help protect that investment over here. So we do have the third truck, obviously, because that Cromwell was on the field. I'm not entirely sure what he's building, or what his... I guess really he's just trying to kill the Vermont player right now. Just going to his base, slowly chip it away, and I'd say it's kind of working so far. Because he does have the firepower. What was that? That was loud. He does have the firepower, and then just run to his base, do the damage, retreat, reinforce. Run to his base, do the damage, retreat, reinforce, and that's what he's kind of doing right now. At the same time, he's not being entirely stupid about it. He's going to cap the left-hand side. You know, and I don't want to sound biased against the British player if that's what it sounded like, but it's just hard for me to read him right now. And he's just gonna run into the base now, and he's gonna do a lot of damage once again. Maybe able to pick off the Pioneer squad or the Stormtrooper squad, which is only down to 2 guys. Very, very low on health. He may try to take out this bunker, which has been giving him so much trouble. Force retreat again, and the mortars is doing once he's saving the day here, suppressing all of them, as well as that bunker. And the Sta is out, so it's a good time. Good thing that he did retreat. However, 2 Pirates are here. Going to do quite a bit of damage if they can get the hits on that Sta. They are pretty much fully reinforced Pirates right now. Hopefully these Pioneer squads can get in here and start repairing that Sta if he wanted to, or maybe trying to sneak these Stormtroopers in here to get a grenade on them, or the mortar can take them out. So really, time is ticking on those Pirate squad to do the damage, and they have done quite a bit of damage, just halfway down. However, one good mortar hit or grenade hit or Sta hit will take out all these Pirates and they do retreat out there wisely. And Vermont player still kind of stuck in those base. VPs are 477 to 233. Medic bunker once again healing and reinforcing his army. Woo. Okay. So really, it's just gonna happen once again. British player gonna reinforce, gonna go back to his base, try to do damage. Vermont player did help. Gonna try and hold it off, and so far he's holding it off pretty well. Pretty much all his cover is gone right here on that little strip of hedgerow and stone wall that used to be there. Is a little bit of lag repairing his buildings, and here comes the push once again. Does manage to stop that officer from capping with that one Stormtrooper squad, but can he afford to keep that Stormtrooper squad over there? I don't think so. Because really needs all the firepower he can get against all these guys. All of these guys. Oh man! What was that? That was nasty. Oh, that was a Sta, there we go. And yeah, that's what he needs, a Sta and mortars. All he needs to keep alive against a blob like this. The British player can spread it out, then he'll be in quite a bit of trouble. Massive amounts of damage. Artillery's going off though, trying to counter nothing really. I would try to counter that mortar squad. No, he's gonna try to nail this Craig Barracks. What if Craig Barracks goes down? So close, he has to go down. Lots of damage. Now he's in full retreat, almost taking out the center, which is where he does get his veteran CR. Does have double veteran CR on one spot. Oh, another fight over Northern. Oh, losing a Shrek squad, unfortunately, to the Cupcake. That is gonna be a huge hit to our Vermont player, just because once again, he is kind of low on his squads right now, and he needs all he can get right now. The British player is just banking on so many units right now. If he starts getting artillery, let me see, check the resources of our British player. If he starts building some artillery, I think Friya is going to be in some more hurt. And actually, that's what he is getting. He's getting that. He actually went the artillery doctrine. So he's going to get the priest, which is mobile artillery, can move it around the map. I don't see it on the field yet, so he's saving up for that. Does have an armored car out on the field to scout around and protect him. Right now, it does have his Vermont player still contained throughout this game, 477 to 199 so far. He's trying to get this Shrek before the Stormtrooper squad does. He does manage to get it. Very, very risky. There are only 2 guys there. He may be able to pick it off. Cupcake trying to dance around and block these guys, and he does manage to get away. The Stormtrooper squad will have to book it out of here. Unfortunately, the Shrek goes over our British player. And I believe that was the only Shrek squad our Vermont player had, unfortunately. This Grenadier squad doesn't have it. It's got 3 mortars lined up here in the back. I like how they're spread out. And the Stormtrooper squad, unfortunately, doesn't have it. It does have the munitions to upgrade for it if you wanted to. Grenadier squad has to get out of here. And here comes our second push once again. Vermont player, can he hold it? The Sta. He's got the Sta. I hear artillery going off. I think that's where it was from. A little bit of lag. And here we go. to get the damage done. The Grenadier squad needs to get out of there. Only one guy picked off. I think he should be good to go as long as he keeps in this general area. Well, I think his main purpose, though, is not the mortar squad. If he does get the mortar squad, that is a bonus. But he's going to try to take out this bunker, so that'll allow him to move this infantry in. And what's been keeping him suppressed for so long, move his infantry in, and then obviously it's going to help him out in the next fight. Unfortunately, that will not take out the bunker. In fact, it didn't even do that much damage. Pioneers are probably going to